No, I said I don't see logic in fighting for people who keep falling for scams. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does matter.
Welcome. What you're seeing here is serial known scammer Bryan Legend talking about how he was asked to take over the reins and run Hyve Blockchain. After a few phone calls back and forth and learning info about operations and what was planned, and with a lot of convincing, talking about TLON trying to convince Bryan Legend to come back and run Hyve. What the fuck? He wanted to have the serial scammer Bryan Legend come back and run Hyve at some point. So I will be showing you how I asked questions on their AMA from an account that had never asked anything and was immediately banned. Well, questions deleted and then banned immediately upon asking these questions. And the first question is, why was TLON ever in contact with Bryan Legend about him running Hyve? And you will see me getting banned, and then you will see evidence of TLON talking with Bryan Legend. So it's not just Bryan Legend saying this because he's a scammer. You know, I don't, if people don't take him at his word, great. But then you have TLON talking with him, having text messages with him, talking about having his phone number. They obviously had this conversation. This obviously did happen, and it's sickening.
As well. So this is where it's a lot of questions. Okay, we'll go through some of them. That's a lot. So this Hyve Forged is where people can come and build on top of Hyve, and we will help them do it. So they will be able to submit their projects. That we will help them get to we will help them get to the end goal of building their project on Hyve, and this is the way we do it. There's an ecosystem in there. Again, have a look at that. Multiple things. We know that there's 3 or 4 people who are waiting to build projects on Hyve, and if you want to submit your project, you can come in there and do it.
As we see here, these are the questions that I asked. The first, obviously, being why TLON was ever talking with Bryan Legend to take over Hyve. I mean, clearly a serious lack of judgment. Clearly he'll do anything to try and, get money out of this community, including bringing back the scammer. How come none of them are doxxed? What's up with this terrible marketing that they're doing? At least they did answer that, which is scary, the answers that they said, that they were literally just paying $100 for marketing. Okay, that's professional. Yeah, okay. Can the team be honest about how much AI is being used? I mean, the Greek is very honest with me, telling them that they're just straight up just using AI for everything. How about the audit? It was on 4 pre-compiles, but they keep saying that everything's audited. That's not everything audited. That's 4 pre-compiles that were audited with a lot of red flags, a lot of scary red flags that they just, sure, they had to have someone else help them correct it. Sure, okay. If they clearly don't know how to code. No receipts for the money. They're paying themselves salaries. They're paying for these audits. No receipts, just like Nick, Everything's just behind closed doors. Thanks for the money. You don't get to see what it's doing. So you can see they're not answering any of these questions. They just delete, ban. Today we're going to start with question number 1. Why was TLON ever talking with Bryan Legend about bringing him back into any crypto project, let alone taking over this project that is insane? I mean, this guy has scammed for over $10+ million, most likely even more than that, and he was offering him the opportunity to take over this project. Are you crazy? And everyone else thinks it's crazy but him. And you're going to see he even defends him in a second, thinking that he's a good man all because of someone else that scammed. Nick's a scammer. So that makes Bryan not a scammer? No, they're both scammers. Everyone on that original team was a scammer. They're all scammers. That's what you don't understand. And you can already see him setting it up right here. Look at this. From what I've read so far, Bryan was the one doing things super professionally, trying to get things done, but working with incompetent people. No, he was a scammer. Nick was also a scammer. There was multiple scammers. The whole ePlace crew was scammers. Like, they're all scammers. But he's trying to whitewash it so that he could bring Bryan back to take over Hyve. He's setting it all up. Also, this is not something that we have to speculate about. Oh, is Bryan telling the truth that TLON actually called him? We know TLON was in contact with Bryan because TLON was posting about it before this. He had his number. He was obviously talking to him, messaging him, probably calling him as well. And so it's all very believable. And then you'll see in these next ones as well, multiple times him talking about, oh, I could message him, guys, You can clearly see we need someone to blow our socks. Like, dude, come on. You're going to bring back a scammer? That is insane. Just so that you can try and scam this community one last time. That is literally sickening. Look at this. I need more socks. Oh, I could message him. Yeah. And that's exactly what he did. Because this is right around the time that Kevin White and the Greek and Raj all just left Hyve. And now they're looking for a new leadership. And so what does he do? He probably calls Bryan Legend. And Bryan Legend, he said that they wanted to dox. They didn't want to do it. They clearly saw that they're doing some scammy shit. And even Bryan Legend wouldn't come back. But TLON was calling him, trying to bring a scammer back. So, why don't we listen to someone from the Hyve team, the Greek, talk about Bryan Legend.
The person you just heard from goes by Greek DeFi. And spoiler alert, he previously was involved in SafeMoon. And this same guy, when later confronted, would admit this about Bryan Legend.
Even his biggest supporters are admitting now that what he's done is unconscionable.
Oh, 100%.
Can you call him a scammer now in front of everybody?
What he's doing, it's scam. It's very scammy. Yes, it's very scammy.
What do you mean it's scammy? If he's run scams in the past, he's run more scams. He's a scammer.
He's a scammer. It looks like a scam. Yeah. Okay,
all right.
He's a scammer.
Yes,
a scammer.
thank you.
Yes.
You should not support scammers, Greek.
I'm not supporting anything Bryan touches going forward.
Okay.
Going forward.
Why? Okay, so you've learned your lesson.
I've learned my lesson. The community's been hurt. I'm not touching it.
He regrets it now, guys. Bryan's a scammer. Big shock.
You just heard the Greek's thoughts on it. Bryan's a scammer. But some people, they don't learn that lesson and they want to bring him back. And that is so dangerous. They are just trying to do anything to get money out of this community one last time. It's honestly sickening because it's happened over and over and over, scam after scam after scam. And they keep trying to have it happen. I mean, hell, none of these people were even voted in. It was Vince and Kevin White, both scammers, both gone now. And yet still here we are with another scam still going. It's crazy that this community just doesn't say enough is enough. But here you go, do you want Bryan Legend to come back? Because that's what they were trying to do. That's what TLON was trying to do, just to get more money out of you guys. Sickening.
Obviously, if you take people's money, you deserve what comes to you. There's nothing you can say to that.
Bryan's biggest supporter saying
he deserves to go to jail. That's a pretty big deal, wouldn't you say?
Well, if you take people's money and you do scammy things, you deserve to go to jail.